Η Παλαιστινιακή μαντήλα, σύμβολο του Παλαιστινιακού αγώνα, αλλά και της διεθνούς αλληλεγγύης. Το εργοστάσιο Χιρμπάουι, το μόνο εργοστάσιο Παλαιστινιακής μαντήλας που έχει απομείνει σήμερα στην Παλαιστίνη. Στην Παλαιστίνη, στη Δυτική Όχθη, στη πόλη της Χευρώνας ή Αλ-Χαλίλ στα αραβικά. Χευρώνα. Χευρώνα των σημείων ελέγχου, Χευρώνα της στρατιωτικής κατοχής, Χευρώνα των φανατικών επίκων. Μπαίνουμε στο διαβόητο σημείο ελέγχου 56. Περνάμε τον Ισραηλινό στρατιωτικό έλεγχο. Ανηφορίζουμε τον λόφο. Διασταυρωνόμαστε με Ισραηλινούς επίκους.
Κορίτσι.
Ήθελα να έρθω εδώ και χρόνια στην Παλαιστίνη και ειδικά στη Χευρώνα. Έχω ακούσει και έχω διαβάσει τόσα πολλά. Δεν τα χωράει ο νους μου. Από ψηλά η πόλη μου δίνει την αίσθηση της κανονικότητας. Είναι όμως ψευδαίσθηση. Τίποτα δεν είναι κανονικό εδώ. Η κατοχή και οι επικισμοί δεν αφήνουν κανένα περιθώριο. Περίπου 13.000 Παλαιστίνοι και Παλαιστίνιες έχουν αναγκαστεί να εγκαταλείψουν τα σπίτια τους, μετατρέποντας το κέντρο της Χευρώνας σε μια πόλη φάντασμα. Με ενδιαφέρει ειδικά η μη βίαιη αντίσταση των γυναικών, οι οποίες αντιμετωπίζουν διπλή καταπίεση, την κατοχή και την πατριαρχία.
My name is Tundus Azza, and now I live in Hebron. My family were a refugee from an area called Ajur. It's now 1948 land. It's not far away from Hebron, but now it's, we are refugees and it's forbidden for us to go to my village.
I'm Zlicha Muhtaseb from the old city of Hebron. Our house is located at Shohada Street. Shohada Street is like the most important street in Hebron that connects the north of the city to the south, but not anymore. In the past it used to be full of life and businesses and people, everything, but now as you can see it's really dead.
It's my name Dr. Sahar Yusuf Al-Qawasmi. I'm the General Director for Roles for Social Change Association. It's Adwar. So Adwar is the meaning of roles. It's in Arabic. So Adwar Association is established in 2010 by a student from Hebron University who believes that we have, to enhance the woman situation in general, and because also Hebron, they have a problem with the gender specialist organization. There is a lack of service with the organization that they can offer the gender issues. So, and we believe also, they believe that the gender and development approach, it's a unique approach to reach the social justice.
How we can help in other countries, your struggles.
What memories or what kind of fairy tales you have from your childhood stories?
Actually, I just saw pictures of my grandfather when he was there in front of his house or his father's house. Actually, it's really hard, to know that you are a refugee and you have a land in 1948 lands and you cannot go there. It's really hurt me. So I just really want, or I would like really to go to see my village, but it's actually difficult for us because we are not Israeli citizen and we don't have the Israeli ID to go there.
So you have never been there yourself?
No, I never been. Maybe I can feel free in this area. I'm living in Hebron, which is divided in 1990. You can say 1997. So in that time, they divide Hebron in two parts, H1 and H2. So H1 under the Palestinian Authority control and H2 under the Israeli government control. So I'm now living in an area which is H2 under the Israeli government control in an area called Tal Rumeida. My house was empty, so we came because of like we don't want settlers to take the house. At the beginning, it was really hard for me. I was living in H1, then to come to move to H2, so it's really difficult for me. And I was young. I was 10 years old when I moved here, so it was really hard for me to even to move alone inside the house. Imagine. Like to move inside the house, it was for me. It's really difficult. I feel scared because of settlers was attacking us. Like they were throwing a lot of stones. Once they tried to shoot in front of my house, so it makes like my life difficult when I was young.
Περπατάμε στην παλιά πόλη. Πέφτουμε πάνω σε στρατιωτική επιχείρηση. Μπαίνουμε μέσα σε ένα παλαιστινιακό σπίτι. Ανεβαίνουμε στην ταράτσα. Βλέπουμε σπίτια επίκων δίπλα τους, με στρατιωτικά φυλάκια στις ταράτσες τους και κάμερες και Ισραηλινούς επικισμούς παντού τριγύρω. Γιώργο, να δεις. Είναι φυλάκι.
Because they look the H2 area. Look, money building family the Palestinian. Taller made it. Hadasa. 2,000. Any people to build.
Αυτούς. Πρέπει να φύγουμε. Οι Παλαιστίνοι που έχουν τα μαγαζιά τους στα ισόγεια βάζουν δίχτυα για να προστατευτούν από τους Ισραηλινούς επίκους που έχουν καταλάβει τα σπίτια στους ορόφους.
So it's like a cage. Yeah, it is a cage. I feel like I'm a prisoner inside my house. Although it's for my safety, but it's not comfortable at all.
Yes, it's not the best view.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a bird in a cage.
Yes, still.
And sometimes the settlers, when they go up and down and I'm on the balcony. Yeah.
We can see some passing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In fact, there is no movement today because it's Saturday. Otherwise, you would see lots of people.
We have seen another day we were walking. They come with tours and touristic
Yeah,
buses.
yeah.
We also saw your
My
message
sign.
here.
Oh,
It's writing caution.
Mm.
Israeli apartheid. This is stolen.
yeah,
from
yeah.
us.
It's the street. Yani, when I wrote it, I'm talking about the street that it was stolen from us. Of
Exactly.
course,
Exactly.
yes.
And what is this that we see?
A
now
military
also?
jeep.
This is
And-
protecting the settlers.
Yes,
from the-
security, of
from-
course, because it's
from
a
you
Saturday.
That you are so dangerous terrorist.
You see that we are really very dangerous. We penetrate the fence and we send our messages outside, and they don't want this. In one time, by mistake, before we put the cage, by mistake, we left the balcony, we left the shutters open. So immediately the settlers threw stones and
Broke the glass.
they broke the glass, and the house was full of glass everywhere. Now they throw eggs. You can see the eggs signs in here.
Eggs.
Yeah, eggs. You see the shells?
Yes. Yes, you're right.
Oh,
I can see here.
eggs. Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
you see here and here also the shells.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
I didn't
you see
know.
the door? Okay, let me show you the door. It's full of eggs.
Yes,
This
you're
is,
right.
yeah.
So in that time, we knew that Youth Against Settlements helped the Palestinian here. So I became a volunteer. Then now, actually, I'm one of the coordinator of Youth Against Settlements. So yeah, to be a volunteer, then to be a coordinator, this is something really nice. So Youth Against Settlements, actually, it's a group of youth that help the Palestinians who's living in H2 areas in general. We had a lot of activities, like we had English courses, we have editing courses. We have also cameras, special cameras, so we document all the human rights violation which happened in this area, in Tal Rumeda area, and in general also in H2 area.
We have a group called Breaking the Silence.
Exactly.
And they are really good people. Yani they lead tours here and show people the reality. They tell them about the orders that the soldiers usually get from the commanders, how it is to be a soldier, the situation here.
Exactly. This is good organization.
And the settlers hate them.
Of course, they are also attacked by the settlers.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, one of the he's the founder of Breaking the Silence. He was attacked here.
Here.
From the by settlers? A fanatic settler that lives. You see where the red roof. You see these 2 cylinders, these white things. I saw her one time attacking him here in the street, and when he called the soldiers, he called the police. They put him in the jeep and took him away instead of detaining the settlers.
They arrested him?
Yes.
That he was beaten by the settlers?
Yes. Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah. I saw that here. If we look to the left, you can see a tower over there. That's a watchtower. There is a military. To the right of the tower, there is like a gate that prevents people from coming down. The military uses the gate when they want to detain people or have a military action or anything. To the left here, to the entrance, it used to be the wholesale vegetable market, but not anymore. Now we have the biggest settlement inside the old city, Avraham Avinu. And all the aggression comes from the settlement. If we walk this way, to this side, we have a military base that also started in the early 80s. It used to be the central bus station for Hebron, but not anymore. In the early 90s, a settlement was started inside the military base. Yeah. So now we have this second settlement, the military base and settlement. After that, I will show you from the roof, we have another settlement. It used to be a gas station, a Palestinian gas station, but not anymore. The settlers took all the place over and they have extended. And we have another settlement that is the first settlement inside the old city, Beit Hadassah. Beit Hadassah was started by a group of women from Kiryat Arba settlement led by Miriam Levinger. She is the wife of the rabbi, Moshe Levinger, who started Kiryat Arba.
They want to wipe out the Christian world. Nasrallah and Bin Laden want to wipe out the Christian world. And where are the Christians? In Hebron, inciting the Arabs against the Jews. And they don't care that they're going to wake up in the morning with a knife in their back. Their hate for the Jews drives them crazy. They love the Arabs, even when the Arabs say, I want to wipe out the Christian world. That shows how much brains the Christians have. Inti khmar, abuk khmar, umek khmar, bintek khmar, ibnek khmar. Kulchum khmar. נכון? תגיד אמן.
Yeah, we have another settlement between the military base and the Beit Hadassah. To the right, we go down. It used to be a school, not anymore. They kicked the children in the middle of the school year. So they took it over, and it was a military base for some time. Now it is a yeshiva. Yeah. Because of these settlements, of course, we have another settlement on top of the hill, Tal Rumeda, Ramat Yashai, they call it. Tal Rumeda is an archaeological site. The old Hebron site is there. They built over it. They say for protection, but I don't think that they do that for protection. And there's a military base as well. So we are surrounded by the military. Because of these locations, we have a military presence, and we have Shuhada Street closed through. Wherever you go in the West Bank, you don't see settlers inside the town. But Hebron is different. Hebron has the Ibrahimi Mosque, and it's like the place where all the patriarchs and the matriarchs are buried. It's not allowed for Palestinians to walk in Shuhada Street. Of course, the closure of the street did not happen one time, and it was gradual. It started in 1994, after the Goldstein massacre inside the mosque. 29 people were killed and more than 200 were injured.
By
Baruch Goldstein. And he was a settler, soldier, and doctor, physician, originally from Brooklyn, New York.
רופא אנונימי, תושב קריית ארבע, יצא בבוקר מביתו, לבש את מדי הסרן שלו, נסע למערת המכפלה, וירד צרורות ארוכים אל תוך המון המתפללים המוסלמי במערה. 29 מתפללים נהרגו, עוד 125 נפצעו.
בואי, את כלבה מקולבת.
שומעת, אל תגיבי! שומעת, תעופי מפה, שומעת? די כבר את עם המצלמה.
אתה מוציא לך את שתי העיניים שלך, חתיכת זבל.
אסור לנו לגעת באזרחים יהודים.
כלפי היהודים אין לך מה לעשות.
זה החוק? כן. בוא אני אראה לך מה החוק.
על מי אני באמת מגנה פה?
תעיפי את המצלמה! תעיפי את זה!
פה מינון? רק יהודים.
Yeah, so from 94 they started closing off the street little by little, part by part, until in 2003 it was completely closed for the Palestinians. Imagine that the street is open. I can just go from my front door, which is down here, that is welded shut, I can't use because I'm Palestinian. You see, I'm very dangerous to their security because I'm Palestinian, not for any other reason. So if my door were open, I just cross the street and go. All my family, my relatives are buried there. It's good that I'm their neighbor. I see the graves from the roof, from the balcony, and I say a prayer to them. It takes me 45 minutes, by car, by foot, both. And I need to walk a little bit and then find a car all the way around. My main entrance, we used to go outside from here, inside, outside. Yeah, this is my entrance, but now it's not an entrance anymore. It's like a storage because outside is welded shut, so I want to make use of the space. Yeah, but this is my place.
So now you have a back door.
Yes, the neighbors made this opening for us in order to be able to go in and out.
So they allowed you to, the neighbors made this like service.
Oh. Here the families are very much helping each other.
Good.
When the front door was closed and there was no other place to go to, so they said, okay, now you can go use our entrance, where you came from outside.
Nice. You have solidarity.
Of course. Talking about solidarity, and I have so many stories, that show solidarity and stuff. Yeah. The campaign started a couple of years ago, like about 8-9 years, and it's calling for the reopen of Shuhada Street because Shuhada Street is very important for everybody. It affects our lives a lot. that it is closed. So we are just calling for justice, for human issue.
For your human rights.
Yeah, the closure of Shuhada Street affected the economy, the social life of people, the medical situation of many people.
רק את הציפורים שומעים כאן. בנוף אחר, הקולות האלה היו ערבים לכל אוזן. כאן הציוצים אומרים לך, נכנסת לאזור מוכה אסון. הדיירים בני האנוש נעלמו לפני שנים, והדרורים חופשיים לקנן בדירות ובחנויות הנטושות. ברוכים הבאים לרחוב השוהדה. השוהדה היה ליבה של חברון, העיר השנייה בגודלה בשטחים. היסטורית, הרחוב התפתח לאורכו של הוואדי, בין שני חלקי העיר שנישאים על הגבעות שמעליו. השוהדה היה עורק החיים של מרכז חברון, ובשווקים שלאורכו ומסביבו התנהל המסחר. דממת המוות מושלת כאן כבר שנים ארוכות.
So, Open Shuhada Street campaign is a campaign that we are trying to make a non-violence protest in Hebron because of the closure which happened here, like in Hebron, and also because of Shuhada Street. So Shuhada Street is completely closed for Palestinian. Israeli International allowed to them to walk on Shuhada Street, whereas Palestinians and the people who live in Hebron not allowed for them. So this protest, like to put a pressure on Israeli to try to reopen this street, which is, I think it's a bit difficult, special, like Israeli government now are really difficult, and they just make the life of Palestinian more difficult. And in this also campaign, volunteers who speak English, who are learning English, they go abroad to talk about the situation in Palestine, especially in Hebron and in H2 area.
Πώς να μην θαυμάσεις έναν τέτοιο λαό που παρόλα αυτά δεν σταματά να αγωνίζεται, να αντιστέκεται. Πώς να μην εμπνευστείς από τη δύναμή του, πολύ μεγαλύτερη και από τα πιο ισχυρά όπλα του Ισραηλινού στρατού. Πώς να μην δείξεις αλληλεγγύη.
We feel that we are losing our own city, we are losing the identity of the old city of Hebron and the most important part of the city. Installing signs saying that they own the city, installing a lot of lies on those signs, changing the history, changing the reality, the truth of the city. Israel is trying to manipulate the truth in the ground by saying that streets in Hebron were closed for security reasons. On the other hand, they are just enhancing the settlement project. They changed the names of the streets in my lifetime from Palestinian Arabic names to Israeli Hebrew names, from Babel Khan to Aimek Hebron, from Shuhada Street to King David Street. We want to have signs to tell the visitors the truth, to show the apartheid, to show the segregation, signs on the Palestinian roofs, on the Palestinian shops, on the Palestinian doors, on the Palestinian walls, everywhere, telling the visitors the truth and showing them the real image of the occupation. And name all the shops, name all the market, to tell about the history, the beautiful cultural art, to tell about the Hebron, and give enough information for the visitors to understand the political situation, and using non-violence as a tool to reverse and counter false signs and false information about the city of Hebron.
Περνάμε άλλο ένα σημείο ελέγχου. για να επισκεφτούμε το μαρτυρικό τέμενος του Ιμπραήμ. Θέλουμε να μπούμε μέσα και να τραβήξουμε κάποια πλάνα. Και θέλουμε να φωτογραφίσουμε και τους στρατιώτες που είναι παντού, χωρίς να κινήσουμε υποψίες. Οπότε φωτογραφιζόμαστε μεταξύ μας σαν τουρίστες. Μετά τη μεγάλη σφαγή των πιστών το 1994, το τέμενος έχει διαχωριστεί με εισόδους ανεξάρτητες και διαφορετικά σημεία ελέγχου. Το μεγαλύτερο τμήμα του έχει γίνει συναγωγή, ένα μικρό μόνο τμήμα του παραμένει τζαμί. Στρατιώτες άντρες και γυναίκες με βαρύ οπλισμό παντού. Εδώ έγινε η μεγάλη σφαγή. Περπατάμε στην αποκλεισμένη για τους Παλαιστίνιους περιοχή. Βλέπουμε τις ταμπέλες.
So, and the aims of Youth Against Settlements, of course, like to stop the Israeli settlers' violation and human rights violation in H2 areas.
Περπατάει δίπλα μας ένα γκρουπ Εβραίων εφήβων τουριστών. Ο τελευταίος οπλοφορεί. Μας λένε να μην βιντεοσκοπούμε γιατί είναι Σάββατο. Σταματάμε.
Have you ever talked with a settler?
So actually, I never try to talk with them or to ask them something because they refuse. Like imagine once I was with my cousin passing to my house. So my cousin said to the Israeli settler that your son is beautiful in Arabic. So she said to her, "Shut up, you are pig." Okay. So I just asked her, "Did you understand what she told you?" She said no. She didn't even apologize, you know. I told her, I explained to her in English what she said, that your son is nice. And she said, she didn't even apologize. So we never tried to talk with like parents. Children, you know, they still innocent, they are children, but in the same time, unfortunately, they teach them to hate Palestinian or in general Arabs. They just sometimes saying something bad to us, saying something bad about my Prophet Muhammad, that, you know, Prophet Muhammad is something really special for Muslims, and they try to let us really angry when they saying something bad against my Prophet Muhammad. So they just want, they don't care, they don't want to talk with us. They just want to attack Palestinian. They can attack, yani, they attacked some international Muslims. They attack them because they have hijab, and they are international, but they attack them. So they don't want to see any Palestinian or any Arabs here in this area. So we never try to talk with them because we know the mentality of the settlers who's living here. It's completely different than the Israelis who live in Jerusalem, in Haifa, in Jaffa. I don't believe also that they are Judaism. Like in my religion, I must to respect Judaism and I must to respect Christianity. But for them, of course, I don't respect them. And I don't believe that they are Jewish because they do these bad things to other people.
They insult me, they curse my prophet, they curse my God, as if my God is different from theirs. One time their kids were throwing stones at us, and I was standing outside just smiling. They were so angry because I'm smiling. They started saying bad words to me, and I was still smiling. Yeah, and that was my reaction, just smiling. Why should I bother? You know, on Facebook, on Twitter, everywhere, on TV, on radio, they all talk about violence, and I don't like violence. I don't want blood pressure. I'm a peaceful person.
Όταν οι έπικοι ή οι Εβραίοι τουρίστες θέλουν να βγουν βόλτα στη παλιά πόλη, ο Ισραηλινός στρατός κατοχής κλείνει τα μαγαζιά των Παλαιστινίων, εκενώνει τους δρόμους για χάρη τους και τους συνοδεύει στην περιήγησή τους με βαρύ οπλισμό όπως πάντα.
Some people think that Jews do not have human rights, and they pretend to represent human rights organizations, and they somehow wear these clothes about like observers. But of course, their target is very, very clear: ethnic cleansing of Jews from Hebron. This is why I call them anti-Semite organizations, terror supporters. They are here. They want to deny the rights of Jews to tour as free human people in Hebron, and they come here to incite the local population against their Jewish neighbors and to act for terror against Jews and for ethnic cleansing of Jews. Those pictures that they take now will be spread all over the world to show Jews go in Hebron. For God's sake, what Jews have to do here? Now we say to them, Jews lived in Hebron thousands of years before the Arabs came here. Jews lived in Hebron from the beginning of the biblical period, 4,000 years ago. Jews lived here until they had been massacred by terrorists, by Arab terrorists. Thank God we return, and by God's help, we'll keep on in Hebron forever. And all these anti-Semite organizations, like the thief disappeared, they will disappear as well. Thank you very much.
ברוך, יאללה.
Ρεαλισμός, σουρεαλισμός ή μήπως και τα δύο μαζί. Προσπαθώ να επεξεργαστώ, να κατανοήσω και να διαχειριστώ αυτή την πραγματικότητα. Αποτυχάνω παταγωδώς. Δεν ξέρω πώς να αντιδράσω. Τόση αδικία μαζεμένη σε έναν τόπο, τόσα εγκλήματα εναντίον ενός λαού, τόση αδράνεια από τους υπόλοιπους λαούς.
يلا سبق كده كمان
This is our, we got rid of the international.
If we complain, we are the terrorists. Yani, if we do go to the police or to the soldiers, they say go home. Even if the police take our complaint, for nothing. If the settlers file complaints, they take them immediately. They respond immediately. One time,
But what complaints they could have of you?
they one time accused me of throwing stones from the roof at Shuhada Street.
You to throw at them?
Yeah, they accused me of throwing stones. A soldier and a settler testified against me, wallah. And the soldiers, there was like a big noise here. It was a Saturday, and there was a big noise here. I didn't know what was going on, so I went to the balcony to see what's going on. And I had one of my students. I'm a teacher also. I do many things. One of them is teaching. So one of my students wanted to come and see because he's not from the area. When I saw all the gathering and the settlers were yelling at me, I said, "Go inside." I was worried about the boy. And then I brought my camera and started filming. More soldiers were in the street and lots of jeeps. And they were all pointing at my house and speaking Hebrew. I speak a little Hebrew. So I understood that they were coming to my place. And it's not that far, they just turn around. So I went outside, complained to my neighbors, CPT, Christian Peacemakers. It's a human rights organization. And I started calling youth against settlements, journalists, anybody to come to help.
Exactly.
And my neighbor testified with me that I was all the time sitting at the table teaching the boy and all this stuff. So the commander was confused, but he said, "Sorry, I need to do my job. I need to take you to the police station, and there they do investigations and find out whether or not you are guilty or innocent."
So they did take you to the police station?
The whole night. Yes, they wanted me to pay 3,000 shekels. I said, "I don't have money."
So they even take money from you?
Yes, I said, "I don't have money." And they wanted me to contact my family. I said, "No one will help me because we don't have the money." Yeah.
And you mentioned yourself also that you were filming, that you take photos.
Yes, I went, and when I saw the group outside and they were like angry, I wanted to know what's going on. I immediately take my camera,
Bravo.
This is my weapon, Whatever happens in the street, I usually document that.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
so,
very important.
yeah, and it helped me a lot.
It's your only defense, eh?
Yes, it helped me a lot. When I showed that to the officer, I told him, if it were me, why would I show up to the balcony? Why would I insist on filming?
If you were up and
Yes, yeah, I told him. I talked to him with logic, but he said, I'm just doing my job. They were all doing their job because there is a soldier and a settler that testified against me.
Finished.
Yeah. So when it's these two people, it means khalas, I'm guilty. Yeah. And I was banned from getting a permit to go to Israel for 2 years.
Because of this?
Yes, I was blacklisted.
They punished you for 2 years, blacklist.
Oh. Yeah, I could not get a permit.
It's arbitrary, everything here.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how the Israeli settlers broke the wall of the garden of youth against settlements. Last night, and the police are here and they're checking. This is the wall.
Αυτός είναι ο Ίσα Άμρο, συνειδητής της νεολαίας ενάντια στους επικισμούς, που αγωνίζεται κατά των Ισραηλινών επικισμών μέσω μη βίαιης αντίστασης και πολιτικής ανυπακοής. Το εξοργιστικό είναι ότι έχει διωχθεί, συλληφθεί και φυλακιστεί επανειλημμένα από το Ισραήλ για τον ειρηνικό του ακτιβισμό. Το ακόμα πιο εξοργιστικό είναι ότι έχει επίσης διωχθεί, συλληφθεί και φυλακιστεί από τις Παλαιστινιακές αρχές για την ειρηνική του κριτική.
Around 100 settlers and soldiers attacked our center tonight in Tal Ermede. 2 days ago, some of settlers and Israeli soldiers destroyed the external room for our center, and today our activists said we should build it again and we should do it again. But when we was working, like hundred of soldiers and settlers came after that and started like to attack us. We have so many volunteers now in the hospital. One of them, his name is Ahmad Amro, and also Muhammad Amro, and Rabi Al Karaki, and some of our neighbors. Her name is Imtamir. She also living in Tel Ermede. After she came like to support and to join us against these people who didn't respect anyone, who didn't respect our land and they are not doing anything to stop the settlers.
So we're waiting. Ahmed is throwing up, so we hope that he will be fine.
I'm here. I used to be like attacked from settlers. I used to be detained by Israeli soldiers. So it's the reality actually. Like a month ago, I was attacked by Israeli settlers. Like attacked by 3 settlers actually.
3 at the same time?
Yeah, in Tel Rumeda, next to my sister's house, where you were last time. I was taking photo of settlers who are trying to attack Palestinians in this area. So I took my phone. I just took a photo and video. So one of the settlers, woman, saw me, and she attacked me. And she beat me on my shoulder. Then another guys, maybe I don't know, maybe 17, 16, they attacked me on my leg. And the third one, I didn't saw him, so he came from like my back, and he attacked me at my head and took off my scarf. Yes, and in that time I didn't feel down, but I felt dizzy. And I filed a complaint against them in the Israeli police, but I don't know what happened.
You did go to the police, you filed?
Yes, I filed a complaint. Yes,
Very brave of you.
Yeah.
And did they inform you on the development of the case? Do you know?
I have, actually they gave me a website and a password. I don't know, a website to put username and password to follow my case or the case. But once I just opened it and nothing happened. They are doing their job. But I think actually I filed a complaint a lot against Israeli settlers here, but they do nothing actually.
So it's not the first time?
No, it's not the first time.
You have again been attacked and filed a complaint against them?
Yeah.
And there is never justice?
No.
These people who go to live in these settlements, usually they come from other countries.
They come from America, mainly New York, or from California.
Okay, and what do they give to them? Why
they give them a free house, no tax exemption, free water, electricity, all the facilities. Yeah.
So there's another family.
Yeah. Of course, you see settler women with lots of kids.
Yes.
Settlers here have one family where you would see like 10, 12, 15 children.
Per family? Why so many?
For the same parents.
From the same parents?
Yes.
So they only make children in
their
lives?
Here they are like factories making children.
Exactly. So this woman has all these children. It's of herself, you think?
Yes. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
I thought she gathered all the children.
No. It's her children. It's her children. You see, they are different ages.
Yes, you're right.
They are like 1 year older than each other.
Yes, you're right. So exactly.
Why do they have lots of children? To increase the population. Also, it's the national insurance. They get money per child, per new child. They get paid. For me, it's not peace, P-E-A-C-E. It's the P-I-E-C-E, peace. A piece of Israel here, a piece of Israel there, a piece of Palestine here and there, cutting the West Bank.
In pieces.
Yeah, Yeah, this is the peace that the Israelis were talking about, and the other peace the Palestinians were talking about. So they were talking about different pieces of peace.
Κάθε Παρασκευή μετά τη μεσημεριανή προσευχή γίνονται ταραχές στο σημείο ελέγχου 56. Ο στρατός εκτοξεύει δακρυγόνα, χημικά και κροτίδες, πυροβολεί, κάνει συλλήψεις, σκοτώνει. Τον Ιούλιο του 2017 η UNESCO ανακήρυξε προστατευόμενη περιοχή της παγκόσμιας πολιτιστικής κληρονομιάς την παλιά πόλη της Χεβρώνας, την οποία χαρακτήρισε Ισλαμική, και το τέμενος του Ιμπραήμ Παλαιστινιακό μνημείο. Η Παλαιστινιακή Αρχή χαρακτήρισε επιτυχία την απόφαση. Το Ισραήλ και η ΗΠΑ εξαγριώθηκαν. Το Ισραήλ χαρακτήρισε την απόφαση ηθική αισχήνη και την UNESCO οργανισμό χωρίς σημασία που προωθεί την ψεύτικη ιστορία και ανακοίνωσε την περικοπή ακόμη $1 εκατομμυρίου από τη συνεισφορά του Ισραήλ στον ΟΗΕ. Οι ΗΠΑ χαρακτήρισαν την απόφαση προσβολή προς την ιστορία και δήλωσαν ότι προτίθενται να αποχωρήσουν από την UNESCO. Είχαν ήδη σταματήσει από το 2011 να συνεισφέρουν οικονομικά στην UNESCO επειδή περιέλαβε την Παλαιστίνη στα κράτη-μέλη της. Και όντως οι ΗΠΑ αποχώρησαν στις 31 Δεκεμβρίου του 2018, επικαλούμενοι μεταξύ άλλων τη συνεχιζόμενη αντι-Ισραηλινή προκατάληψη στην UNESCO. Εκτός από την Ισραηλινή κατοχή, οι Παλαιστίνιες έχουν να αντιμετωπίσουν και την πατριαρχία, όπως σε κάθε χώρα άλλωστε, λιγότερο ή περισσότερο. Γι' αυτό μιλάμε με την Αντουάρ.
In my BA, it's a social worker, and my master program is gender and development, and my PhD, it's about women movement. During my study in BA, I have I worked as a volunteer with all women organizations. When I was a child, when I'm reading the newspaper, when I found a unique woman, I cut her photos and I keep it to my folder. I'm always looking to find something completely different. One day they asked me, what do you want exactly? I told them, I don't want to die. It's like the others. When I die, I want that the Palestinian people talk about me, what I am doing to them. This is what I needed. I wanted to make different to others, women, because I'm suffered. I faced the discrimination. I stopped to drive the bicycle. They told me don't to travel. They told me you have to marry this. So they put these conditions and limitations for me. So I face all these discrimination. So because that, I have to struggle to take my rights. I'm struggle to take my rights. When I'm strong now, I'm a power woman. I give empowering the other ones. I believe Adwar open opportunity to all the women and the girls who lost their rights, and they wanna to find opportunity to continue their lives. Exactly.
على امتداد هذه المساحات الشاسعة جنوب الخليل ما يعرف بمسافر يطا أو التجمعات البدوية.
مؤسسة أدوار للتغيير الاجتماعي بتشتغل في التجمعات البدوية، وتقريبا كان شغلنا مع المجتمع المحلي من خلال نساء البدويات ومن خلال اللقاءات الحوارية واللقاءات في مشاريعنا المستمرة. فوجدنا أنه من خلال هاي اللقاءات في جملة من المطالب ومن الاحتياجات للنساء البدويات المبنية على النوع الاجتماعي كانت تتعلق بالتعليم، بالصحة، بالبنى التحتية من طرق ومواصلات وغيرها.
وبالانتقال لعام 2015 بدأت أدوار الحديث عن الاحتياجات الاستراتيجية للنساء البدويات والتي تتمثل بدمجهن في المجالس المحلية. فصدر قرار قبل 6 أشهر بضرورة إعادة تشكيل المجالس، وكانت النتيجة بأن أصبح هناك عضوات في المجالس البدوية مثل المعلمة كفاية الهذلين التي سطرت قصة نجاح في ظل واقع صعب.
قرار إنه لازم يكون كوتي للنساء، فأنا حبيت يعني أدخل في المجلس حتى برضو إن في قسم من المجتمع نساء بدهن حاجاتهن، بدهن خدمات، بدهن أي شيء، فبيقترحوا علي بعض ايش اللي يعني بدهم اياه، وانا باجتماعاتي مع المجلس بنوصل ايش اللي يعني باحتياجات النساء. فاحتياجات النساء اكثر من الرجال، خاصه بالنسبه للمي الكهرباء. الرجال مش قاعدين في الدار، فالنساء هن اللي دائما بحاجه للخدمات، للكهرباء، للمي، للشوارع. مثلا اذا بدنا نوصل يطا ما فيش سيارات، ما فيش شوارع، فهن كانوا يعني دائما نجيب المسؤولين ونحكي معهم من أجل هذه الخدمات.
إن وجود النساء في مواقع صنع القرار وتمكينها من آليات المساءلة، بالإضافة إلى دعم الأعضاء الرجال لهن في المجالس المحلية، لهو مساهمة في الارتقاء بمستوى الخدمات التي استعرضناها خلال التقرير، والذي يمثل قصة نجاح نرجو أن تحذو حذوها كافة التجمعات البدوية الأخرى للارتقاء بعناصر التنمية، خاصة تحت براثن الاحتلال.
Still now, the Palestinian government organization is still applying the old law that ratified from Jordan and also Egyptian from 15 and 16 years old. So the new draft, it's submitted to our President Mahmoud Abbas, the personal law and family protection law and also the punishment law. But our President Mahmoud Abbas, our government, they don't put women issues as a top priority, and they are always focused about national issues, not women and social issues. So they isolated always the social issues and they focus just about the national issues. And they give us many excuses that we cannot apply this law because the division also between Fatah and Hamas. But we will promise that we will give you your equal rights later. And this is the main issues. Other issues that sometimes the family court and also the police station, they have a problem with the procedures. Even sometimes the judge, they give the woman rights. The problem with the procedures and the facility to get her rights. For example, if he gave her rights to take her children after she divorced, the police, they cannot follow up her husband to get the children he gave him. But if the woman, she wanted to divorce, it will take years and years. And if her husband have the money and have the authority and influence men, he will, expand it more and more years. And after that, she losing all her rights. So the law in general and the procedures takes much time. The main problem that we have is that the Palestinian community in general, especially the women, they lost their trust in justice, in social justice in general for Palestine. Before, in Palestine, we have a big issues. They call it al-ashair. It means a families, expanded families, or influence men, or reform men. It's, the social men activists. It's a committee. It still exists in Palestine. And unfortunately, many women and also the Palestinian in general, when they have any problems in the court, they come back to these committees in order, to get their rights. It's all of them in men, but I know that Gaza, they do a good technique what happened in Gaza sector, that they engage the woman. So now they have the woman in these committees. Yeah, it's woman, it's al-makhatir, al-mukhtarat, they call it. It means it's like men call it al-mukhtar, but in Gaza it's al-mukhtarat. It's the same words, but it's for women that they believed, according to their experience, that these women, they can touch the woman issues, especially the sensitive issues, and also they can reach the woman more than the men, and they can protect the woman rights more than men rights. There is a new law, for example, the International Day, what happened in March. So our, it's not president, our Prime Minister, Alhamdulillah, he announcement a new law, يعني they modified a new law for us or offer a new law. Some of them, the women, they have the law to open account on the bank, and before that also they sign a new law that if we have if the man, Palestinian man, wants to marry another woman, have to announce the first woman about the new marriage. Yeah.
So he has a right to marry how many?
4, yeah, of course.
It's a
Yes, it's a
but
polygamy.
now at least he needs to announce to the first.
He have to announce the first one.
And
Yeah.
to the second, to the third.
And even if the third one, he has to announce the second one.
Okay. So at least now they know.
These women and these targeted group, we have to work with them because they have a double violation. First, occupation, daily violation, and also, as I told you, discrimination. And they don't have anything. And anything you can offer for them, you will find the impact direct and the result. It will be happy. Some of them, they lose their husband, they lose their children, they destroyed, they demolished their house. But when you visited them, talk with them, offer something small even with them, look what you are doing with them. Really, I found that I changed their lives because now they are more strong, more empowered. For example, in Abu Nuwar, it's marginalized community. They are living surrounded them for settlement, So they don't have anything. They ask us that they need, when I start to work with them, the men, they told me, don't allow to any man to meet them. And don't make any meetings mix between men and women. Finally, now they accept everything from me. But I offer also a company for them. They wanted to produce food. I'm against that. I don't like it for them. But finally, they convince me that they can sell the product. They need it. And they can get the money. But what I did, that I gave them a company, formal companies. Even they are producing the food, but there is a head of the company. There is a treasurer for the company. There is a director for the company. And also there is a secretary for the company. So I change their power relation from informal sector to formal sector, for traditional woman to empowerment, to strong woman, to influence woman. And this is exactly what I am doing with them. Now they accept the men, they met the men, they deal with the men. We need this, we need this, we need this. And we invited the decisions maker, ministers for them. When they met the ministers, they wanted to eat him, they wanted to catch him. What you did for us? What you are doing for us? And come on, he was shocked. What you are doing with them one? How much they are stronger.
You have influence.
So they are good, bargaining. They have a bargaining technique. They have a negotiations technique. And also now they stop the violence against them. They are playing an active role in their community. And even when they start working with us, the men, they are talking badly about them. What you are doing, you are leaving your children and your husband. When they find what they are doing now, even the men, they support them. Now also they arrange themselves. Yeah. For example, we suffered with them when we started. Because now Adwar, each community you will see women protection committee. It's a women protection committee. So why we choose women protection committee? Because we believe that the women who survive these families, the women who stay this community in the land, the women roles who protect these communities. So because that, we call them women protection committee. These women now try to support another disadvantages women, other issues. They presented their rights, their voices to other communities, to the Palestinian Authority. When we start to work with them, they presented their individual issues, but now you will see public speech, public interest. It's not individual. When they want to present themselves, they prepared. Yeah, and they documented everything, what they wanted to talk, what they wanted to present. They are talking in the media. They present what they have in the media. Some of them, yeah, after empower them, they talked in the media. In the radio station, because not all of them, you cannot see them. Many of them, they talked in the radio station. And they expressed how much they suffered and what they want exactly. So it's many issues happen with them. It's changing with them. I'm really feeling happy when I found the woman that they are doing what they want. They are living according to what they want. They choose what they want, and they continue their education. They are working. They are traveling.
We just also go far away a bit of politics. So we screen football matches. We make fun days for the children. We had also Samba courses, drumming, like for the children here.
So yeah, I do respect all the mothers who support their sons when they refuse to go to the army, because at the end we are all creatures of one God, and we are all brothers and sisters in humanity. No matter what color, what religion, what language we speak, we are all the same. We are all born after 9 months of pregnancy. Yeah, this is what we say in Arabic. So if we have the same cycle of life, why do we fight? We should all live together as one people. Yeah, and we fight for the best, not to kill each other.
في 22/9/2015 ما بين الساعة 8:30 والتاسعة صباحا علمت بأن فتاة تدعى هديل الهشلمون تم إطلاق النار عليها في مدخل شارع الشهداء على الحاجز العسكري المقام في تلك المنطقة. كانت تذهب باستمرار إلى تلك المنطقة على علاقة وطيدة مع سكان شارع الشهداء. عادة تذهب لأن هناك أسر محتاجة وهي على تواصل معهم، ومن باب الخدمة الاجتماعية والمجتمعية كان بعض العائلات لها أطفال تساعدهم في التدريس لتحسين تحصيلهم العلمي. فوجئت بأن ابنتي، أنا أعلم أن ابنتي طالبة جامعة، لكن ذهبت عبر ذلك الحاجز المشؤوم عدة مرات وبلباسها المنقب، حيث أنها تنقبت قبل استشهادها بحوالي 2 أو 3 وتكرر دخولها عبر ذلك الحاجز قبل استشهادها. وهذا يدل على أن جنود الحاجز يعرفون ذلك الشخص الذي يمر عبر تلك المنطقة، ومن حسب ادعاء سلطات الاحتلال دائما أن من أطلق عليه النار هو جاء ليهدد حياة الجنود أو حاول طعن أو إطلاق النار على الجنود، وذلك لتبرير الفعل. أعتقد أن الصورة واضحة. استشهدت ابنتي، أطلق عليها الرصاص وهي كانت تحمل حقيبة الدراسة، تركت تنزف في ذلك المكان لأكثر من 40 دقيقة، لم يقدم لها الإسعاف. منعت سيارات الإسعاف الفلسطيني حيث وصلت خلال 10 دقائق إلى المكان، ومنعت من تقديم المساعدة ولم يستطيعوا إسعافها. تم نقلها كما شاهدت في تلك الفترة عبر سيارة إسعاف إسرائيلية. أعتقد بأن الطريقة المهينة التي تم نقل المصاب بها تدل على أنه ترك ليستمر في النزف.
Palestinian